Hey, Red Raven here. Welcome to my channel, my darlings. Today's video is about why I dress alternatively and why I like squishmallows and lashes. So, let's get into the video, shall we? Now, the reason I dress alternatively is a pretty obvious one, as my first point is eye-catching. I love expressing myself through bold makeup, as you can see, through my tattoos, and generally just through anything I can wear, really. I love being alternative because, as well, because when I grew up in a very abusive household. I had a very controlling mum who would physically and mentally hurt me. I had to wear my hair the way she wanted to. I had to walk, talk and speak exactly the way she wanted to. I was also bullied relentlessly at school because I was different. I was the ones with the geeks, the skaters, the unusuals. And I was told that I must have blonde hair and I must do this and I must do that. And it was more than just, how do I put this? It was more than just, you know, your parent looking after you kind of, you need to be smart with school, honey, kind of thing. She was just relentless. She made me feel so small, and it didn't matter if I was sad. I wasn't allowed to be sad. I wasn't allowed to be angry. I needed to be quiet, and I needed to not say anything, and I needed to be exactly how she wanted me to be. So I learned very quickly growing up that in order to stay safe in my abusive household, I had to manage my mother's emotional needs. There'd be times when she'd come in the room and I would just sit in the corner and pray that she wouldn't come to me and speak to me and talk to me or do anything, really, to be honest. Sorry. I felt so alone. I did. I felt so sorry. This is the real. This is why I'm the way that I am now. So, emotions and all. We're gonna get into this. I felt really small growing up. I was always the odd one out. I was always the dark sheep, and I was taught that who I was wrong, and not okay, and not alright. And I had no friends. Life was just so fucking hard growing up, and I felt like I was the problem. And then as I got older, I unfortunately met my abusive ex, which did some more conditioning, and I became more basic and plain, and I hid away. I scraped my hair back. I had no makeup. I didn't do anything. I didn't even look after myself properly. I had kids. Now you guys know my kids don't live with me, but that's a different story. But it's mainly because of my mental health issues, and they're with an amazing family, which I also see them once a month, and I do have a good relationship with them. Again, a story for a different day. But yeah, I was conditioned all my life to fit in and mold myself to be like everyone else. And I thought I was the problem. And I wasn't the problem. Society and everyone else was the problem. So in 2019, when I was all on my own, I decided, you know what, I could be a voice for other people. I could do things, you know, I could be myself. This is my time to create myself. And I think my pinpoint change where I fully pushed into my aesthetic and being on here and being alternative and just really being me was 2019, like I said, when I was sort of, let's just say, stood on a bridge, and we'll leave it as that, and I decided that I wanted to stay here and continue to show that being alternative is amazing. I have never felt more alive and more myself than I have felt in my entire life this is who I am, this is who I've always been, but I was shunned by everyone, and I love being alternative. I love being bright and loud makeup and just being unusual. And yes I do. I love walking around town and people seeing me. And I tell you now, being alternative is definitely a very good people filter. Generally, most people who come up to me are only the people that I'm going to really talk to. Most people will look at me and go, oh my god, she has a whip on the side of her head and she's dressed loud, she has a choker, please stay away from her. And I'm like, yeah, you're not the type of people that I'm going to hang around with anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, but it's also important as well, when being alternative, to just have fun. That's what I love about it. Being alternative is having fun, being bright, being loud, being bold, diving into things you enjoy, and essentially going against society's standard, really. I don't fit into the square little box that you're all put into. I've never fitted into that box. And I tell you, all the times I have tried to fit into that little tiny square box, it just didn't work. I was miserable. Fucking miserable. And then I started, pulling into myself, and then last year I was diagnosed with autism, and that made a lot more sense with my quirkiness as well there. And that's moving on to why I also love plushies. Plushies are amazing. Two reasons. One, they're very good when you're having a meltdown, autistic meltdown, any type of meltdown really, and you can just squish them and squeeze them really tight, and they're soft and they're cuddly, and a lot of them have really cute little facial expressions on them, like this one is a octopus pumpkin that turns into a zombie pumpkin. Good. But I like it this way, and it's just really nice, and it's sort of a very good sensory thing. It definitely helps with me fidgeting. I love to move around, and also another reason why I'm more into my squishmallows and my plushies now is, again, to deal with my mother and my upbringing and the abuse. I was taught from a very young age, you can't have cuddlies, you can't have plushies, you can't have toys, you can't have snuggles. No, you're growing up now, you can't. I was told my whole life I couldn't have toys, couldn't have cuddlies, couldn't have any of these. No, it's wrong. You can be whatever hell age you want to be. If you are 70 years of age and you see a massive flipping pumpkin squishmallow, buy it if it makes you happy. It doesn't matter if it makes no sense to anyone else. It makes you happy, it's not hurting anybody, it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. If you want to buy a plushie, buy a plushie. You want to wear a big, massive, loud pink dress, go the fuck ahead. You want to have a mohawk, have a mohawk. This is what being alternative and just being you is. You know, I for so long didn't dress how I wanted, wear the makeup how I wanted, acted how I wanted, and had plushies because I was told and pushed down to not be able to be myself. And this is why I love being alternative. The thing about me that I love the most now is that I am different, that I am unusual, and being alternative is amazing. I will walk around town, tell you now, I will walk around town dressed in good shades like this, and I will see another alternative person, and then I will just leap out of life, leap out, enjoying your hi, like, I have your hair, I love your hair, that's amazing, yeah, cool, oh, you got taffy hair, and it's just, you know. You know when you've got another alternative person. You know what I mean when you've got another alternative person, because you're like, and they're like, yeah, it's just really exciting, you know. I love alternative people because they're just so authentically themselves, and we're not vanilla. We're not, whether we dress on the outside, non-vanilla, our personalities definitely are not vanilla, you know, but yeah, that is why I love being alternative, just being myself. After years of being quiet and told to shut up and things, like, I get excited about things, people go, oh, she's going hyper. yes, I'm going hyper. I'm seeing an amazing goth person over there or an amazing thing. I'm going to get excited about it. And to be honest, we only live once, you know? So I'm like, fuck it. I'm 30 years old. I do YouTube, I do TikTok, I speak to people about mental health, domestic abuse, being you. Just be you. Fuck everyone else. It doesn't matter. If it makes you happy, you know? And I love it. I love seeing other people, you know? When I see the videos on social media of people just being like, you know, authentically themselves. And I'll tell them, I'm like, you know, they're like, oh, I got this today and it's amazing, and look, it's really sunshiny and yellow, and I'm like, yes, be you, it's awesome, it's amazing, it's so pleasing, and it makes me happy to see you guys out there being exactly who you want to be. That is why I love being alternative, and that's why I dress alternative, you know? It's just yeah. And these squish thingies are amazing. We're never too old to have squishmallows of any kind, okay? Never, ever. Anyway, that ends my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, I love you. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You're unique and special. Always be you. See you next one. Red Raven out. Bye.